Hello there, Ray here, and today I would like to share with you guys my efficient AFK seagrass farm. In my 1.13 pre-release 3 review video, I showed that you can use dispensers with bone meal and power them to place seagrass onto the floor of some water. So the way that we do this is that we just have a dispenser that is facing over into a block that is down at the same level as it. We have to have some water around it, and there is bone meal inside of it, and then when it's dispensed, it will place seagrass around it. Now there is also this bug which creates all the seagrass inside of flowing water, and when the seagrass is broken, this will create water sources. I think that's unintentional since they removed that from you being able to manually place seagrass in it. And right after that, during our Twitch stream, we went ahead and built up this farm here, which allows us to farm the seagrass items efficiently by using the dispenser. The way that the farm works is that you'll be in survival, you hop in this minecart, you get started, you'll face off in this direction with your shears in your main hand, then you'll just hold down your main attack button. Now you can also do this while being AFK by placing a weight down on your mouse or either moving your mouse button over to your keyboard and placing a weight on that. The player will be removing the seagrass with the shears, and this will allow us to get the seagrass item. And then what happens is the player is going back and forth so he's able to reach all sides. On either end of the farm there are these detector rails, and after removing all the seagrass you'll come across this detector rail which will activate this redstone which goes into this block and will power this dispenser which we have full of bone meal. Now this will allow it to replenish all the seagrass, so when you come back the other direction you're able to remove some more. Now, because shears only have 283 durability, you can go through them very quickly with this farm. So over here, I built up a dispensing mechanism that allows you to replenish your shears every so often. The way that this works is that when the minecart goes over top of this detector rail, it powers that dispenser rail and also comes around here and drops out shears out of this dropper, so the player can pick them up if he needs them. The way that this works is that the activator rail is powering this dropper, and it's also powering down and powering this hopper over here, as well as this hopper. So when the shears drop, they're not able to go into the hopper until the minecart leaves. And this way, if the player needs to pick them up, he can. And also this allows it so that we can have more storage off to the side. And the way that this storage works is that the hopper here is able to push items into this hopper and refill it. But if there is any items above it, they will have priority over the incoming hopper. So if there is an item that is sitting on top of this hopper, the hopper will pick it up if it has room before it will be able to take any items from here. This way we can ensure that we are using these shears up in this loop before we ever add any new ones, and this is very useful. Now once in a while the shear may fall off to the side here, and that's okay because you use up the shears fast enough and the items take 5 minutes to despawn, so you'll be able to pick them up and use them before you use up any of the other shears that are in the system. So when the items are broken off, there is the item collection system, and the way that this works is that we have it so that when the items break off, they're just inside this water, and they will naturally try to float to the top. When they do, they come into this current, which will push them over to this side, and what we have here is just some slabs, and below them are some hoppers. And these hoppers will pick up all the seagrass, place them into this chest. I had to use 2 chests just because this farm produces a lot of seagrass, so it needs quite a bit of hoppers to keep up with it. It produces around 27,000 seagrass per hour, which is a lot. And the seagrass farm is very efficient with the bone meal, as it only uses 1 bone meal to do this entire area. And as you can see over here, 1 bone meal can do up to about around 25 different seagrass with a single bone meal. So this is quite a bit more efficient than my previous design, which used 1 bone meal per seagrass. If you want to, you can always add in more storage for this dispenser here by placing a dropper in here facing up and having some hoppers pointing to that, as well as some chests off site. Seagrass can be used to make turtles follow you by holding it in your hand. You can also use it on the turtles to breed them up to make them produce eggs, as well as baby turtles. And it's also used for decorational blocks as it comes in the small form as well as the tall seagrass form. During the Twitch stream, we discovered quite a bit about seagrass. We learned that the dispenser can dispense seagrass out in front of it, as well as this level, and also 2 levels below it. You could make it so that you actually harvest seagrass from multiple levels, although it's more likely to place the seagrass at this level as well as closer to the dispenser. But if you bone meal it enough, then it will eventually start to have a small chance of producing it up high as well as far out. Here's like a dispenser that we bone meal for quite a while. You can see the area that it kind of covered. Even though we bone meal this for maybe, I don't know, about 200 times or so, how much bone meal is left in it? Not too much, about half of each stack. You can see I still had trouble coming over here and filling out the entire square area, which it can do. Now we also discovered some other cool things during the stream, like seagrass can be able to be placed on top of some really weird blocks such as like glass and even top slabs, and the most bizarre one we found is that it's able to place on top of trapdoors that are set like this. Essentially, what it seems like, the seagrass can go on top of any block that has a surface that is a full cube at the top, and it doesn't have any irregular height as well. So something like a farmland, it can be placed on top of, and like stuff like hoppers as well as chests, and it doesn't work on magma blocks either. If you would like to build this up in your very own world, I have the world download to this down in the description. If you'd like to join us during our Twitch streams, I stream at 9 p.m. Eastern Time every night, and if you can't make it during that time, you can always go ahead and watch the archive streams afterwards, and the links to that is down in the description. A nice and simple design to allow you to efficiently farm up that seagrass while also being AFK. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and if you guys found this interesting, be sure to go ahead and show me with a like as well as share this with others. If you'd like to see more 1.13 farms, as well as other cool things I discover while playing in survival Minecraft, go ahead and subscribe as well as hit that bell button. I have over 250 videos, which are all really original content, which allows you to see really cool stuff that I come across while playing in my 9-year career. And if you have any questions, be sure to go ahead and ask them down in the comments. Bye-bye.